Hey, Gasser Dave here. We've got had an overheating problem since I put the AC in, so I put a new fan, new relays. I'm going to detail that. I won't be able to show you the work. I did it, but I'll show you how I went about it and what it looks like now. So follow along with me. Okay, for your knowledge, this is the fan that I used. I'll hold it for a few seconds. It's a 239 Flexolite Lowboy. And you can pause the screen and read up on it if you want to. Again, it's a 239/119. It's the pusher fan, 3000 CFM. Uses a 30 amp inline fuse, which American Auto Wire already has that covered in my fuse box. This is the American Auto Wire instructions that I got with my American Auto Wire kit. You can see here's that orange wire that runs from my American Auto Wire kit, and that goes, as I was saying, to that pink wire right here into the relay. You have a 30 amp fuse, the big one, which I run over to the constant battery, and that has a huge fuse on that. I also have the orange wire that goes over the constant to my fan. I don't show it, but the fan has to go to ground. This one just has a switch to run the fan. I'll show you the wiring diagram that I actually used. The wiring diagram that I actually used is the middle one here. This is the electric fan with AC trinary switch. You can see how it's already hooked up. It runs into both a switch, and it has the temperature switch, it has the car switch, it has the fan, it also has the trinary. So that's electric fan with AC trinary switch, how it's wired. If you need any information, just let me know, and I'll see what I can get to you. Thanks a lot. Hey YouTubers, Gasser Dave here. I had an overheating problem when I put my AC in, so I decided to put a pusher fan and all the different hookups. I'm going to give you an overview of what I did and show you what I did. I've already performed the work, but in case somebody needs to put a pusher fan due to overheating while at idle, going down the road I was fine, but when I idle for long periods I overheated. Hopefully this will help somebody out. Let me show you what I've done. Okay, this is the Gasser. You've all seen it before. This is what I've done first is I've installed a pusher fan on the front of the engine. I used the actual mounts, the holes that were already in the condenser, and I bought this install kit. It came with 4 and all the bolts from Summit. It was only like $8. And what I did is I mounted to each one of these and to the bottom holes that were already in there, and then mounted it to the fan. And then on the back here, I don't know if you can see it, on the back here, I mounted some rubber on each one of these bolts, so that way it's rubber going against the fan, not metal. I super glued those to the bolt head, and they're not coming off. With this pusher fan, it is a Flexolite. It has, it's a pusher only. It's a brand new blade technology, shaped like an airfoil, or like a wing, like an airplane, and it has waves in it. And it's a 3000 CFM. It only takes 18 amps to run. With this one, you wire it backwards. You wire, the red is actually the ground, so I ran the red over here to a ground. the black went to an orange wire, and the orange wire actually runs over here. As you can see, I have a relay, and the orange wire runs actually to the relay. The pink wire from the relay runs to an orange wire that I had already from the American Auto Wire kit, which is a 12-volt ignition on, and that's how I start the fan. And then you have a black, you have a constant red, which I have into powered from one of these two huge fuses that also come with the American Wire kit. It's wired to one side of that, as is my alternator. So whenever the car comes on, I have power for my relay, and I can power on the fan. Now let me show you what I've hooked up with this. Sorry for the shaking. Over here, this is a water temperature switch. One side goes to ground, one side goes to the black wire. So out of your relay. So the black wire goes to run that. What happens is, when the car is running, if it reaches 195 degrees, the fan will automatically turn on, and it will shut off when the car goes back down to 185 degrees. Now at the same time, because I have AC in this car, I also ran the black wire goes to one of the blue wires. This here is a trinary switch. A black wire goes to one of the blue wires, and one of the blue wires came right over here, as you can see down there, right in here to ground. So that's how you run from your trinary switch. What I also ran as an extra is I have an on-off switch that I put inside the car. That on-off switch here, what that does is I can manually turn on the fan. Now when I manually turn on the fan, if the car gets up to 195 degrees, it will not shut off by that switch. It will shut off by the temperature switch when it reaches 185. However, when I'm going down the road, I can turn that on, and it'll have constant fan on the whole time I'm turning it on. Let me demonstrate how powerful the fan is. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate by turning on the ignition, hitting the fan switch. You'll hear the fan is on. You'll see it's pulling towards there, and you'll see here, if I can get it, it's pushing away there. I can't even get it to stand off. And here it's sucking right up against it. So that's what happens when I turn on the fan while the car is running. So what I have now is, while I'm running the AC, two things happen. If the AC turns and gets high pressure, because of the trinary switch, it turns on the fan. If the AC gets too low a pressure, it also turns on the fan to help bring the pressure down in the AC by bringing the heat down in the system. Again, it works by water temperature, as I showed you by the switch here. It comes on at 195, goes off at 185. And I have the switch on the interior of the car, which I showed you. Everything is powered from this block here. The main power switch is run from the battery to the relay, and that's the one that is the big red one you see here, the main power. The alternator, I put a new alternator in. The alternator is a 200 amp alternator. That way, when I run the lights, the fan, the radio, the turn signals, whatever takes power, I'm not having issue with the battery getting low. The only thing left to do is I'm going to paint these areas here a flat black so they don't stand out as much. As you can see, the fan takes up all the room. When I'm running down the road, I'm running at a constant 180. So it has not blocked my airflow whatsoever. So I still have the same amount of airflow I had before. Okay, YouTube, that's it. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I'll have more how-to tips coming up. So if you have that problem with overheating while in idle, you need a pusher fan. If you're going down the road and you're not overheating, no problem, because you got enough airflow. When you have a decrease in airflow, that's when you need a pusher fan. All right, thanks a lot. And let me preface that by saying, let me say though that if you have a fan that's a puller, you probably won't have the issue going down the road and in idle. I have a separate fan. Let me show you. My fan, let me turn around here. I have an engine driven fan. So at idle, it's pushing through on a very hot day. I need the extra air coming through. If you had an electric fan that was a puller and it was big enough, you probably wouldn't have the same problem that I'm having. So I hope it helps somebody. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more tips and hints on building your own 1957 or 55 or 56 Chevy Gasser. Thanks a lot. Bye.